In this episode of Restoration on the River, our team laid some serious groundwork for this project's progress, beginning with work during unfavorable conditions, but finishing with some major work on both the house walls and stairs leading down the cliff. Next Step Restoration Ministry focuses on helping people impacted by tragedy take the next step in their domestic needs while God restores their spiritual needs. We flew all the way to the outskirts of Austin, Texas to help restore this house to become a peaceful retreat for underserved families.
So we're all excited that it's the final 2 days, but it's the final 2 days. You're going to see some stress on some of our faces because we may have bitten off a little more than we can chew.
In this final episode of our trip here to Texas, we will be showing you the last 2 days of this project. Most of the projects that we have started here in Texas need to be finished in this episode. And man, it is going to take some planning to accomplish that. Throughout this series, we have taken you on the journey of how this house is making its next step to completion, all the challenges we have faced, and the incredible things God did through this project. This is Restoration on the River.
So for everybody from Kentucky, February in Texas sounds like a great idea. And a lot of us were regularly in shorts and t-shirts because it just felt great compared to the winter that was back home. But today we woke up to a very cold temperature. My son Riley, he started a fire so that we could just come and get warm. But one of the biggest challenges that we really hadn't considered was we had to work on the deck today, but there was a layer of frost on the deck. And so for a while there, the deck was off limits because it was like an ice rink.
With the cold weather this morning, our team started to apply flashing tape on top of the house's ledger board. This tape is super wide and thick and is applied so that the water won't get trapped on top of the ledger board. It is an extra waterproofing measure in addition to the metal flashing we applied in episode 2.
Julius and Fox continue working with the concrete on the cliffside walkway, and we believe that it's going to finally be done tomorrow.
Okay, so by this point in the morning, the frost on the deck had melted enough so that our crew could safely work on it, provided that we keep a good distance from the edge. So AJ and Brian got started on installing 3 windows on the backside of the house. These windows were tall and big, so they required a lot of care while moving them around. We were wanting to put up lath today, and since the windows needed to be installed first, Brian and AJ focused on putting them up efficiently and got them done in time. On the east and west sides of the house, the team led by Jill, Lori, and Kristen installed tar paper so that the entire house exterior would be waterproof. Now, both sides were a lot taller at their peaks than the front and back of the house, so our group had to adapt to installing tar paper while standing on ladders. It was difficult to get used to, but by the middle of the day when the 3 windows were installed, the team had settled into working higher off the ground. Okay, so as we have mentioned throughout the series, we have filled our dump trailer up considerably with all the trash and building material that we removed from the house. So much to our relief, today was the day that the trailer would be taken to the dump.
Our roll-off dumpster had gotten pretty full, so it was great to just take a second and see all that trash that had been really in Kevin's way for so long take off and go where trash goes.
After lunch, we took a corner piece of the rock that was going up and test fit it onto the back corner of the house. It looked really cool and would be installed over on the front of the house tomorrow. But to be ready for more stone to go up after our trip here in Texas, Kevin had us put up lath on the back of the house as well. Our team was able to jump into installation, but this time we had plenty of fasteners to secure the lath, contrasted to running out in the middle of episode 2. Over on the other side of the deck, Casey's group finished putting up the posts that we had wanted to do in the morning. Once the posts were up, our team got really excited because we were finally able to put up the fence panels on the deck. Now our team had one more stretch of fencing to finish, the picket fence going up in front of the rock wall. We attached 2x4s horizontally onto the posts that we had installed in episode 2 so that the picket fence boards could be installed vertically.
So back to the project on the deck, we had the pickets that we were putting on the new fence that we added. We wanted to tie that fence in with the deck railing. So AJ had to do a little bit of work creatively to connect those two, and I think it turned out great.
It really was amazing to see these boards go up, and as a final touch, we went through and cut off the tops of the boards to give a clean and straight edge to the fence.
So for me, this was a huge accomplishment because the entire time I had really worried about the cliff. You know, we wanted this to be safe. We wanted people to enjoy this deck.
Brian had begun building the soffit system yesterday, which is the main way the house ventilates its air. Today, Brian was mainly focused on installing the ventilation panels onto the soffit framing. AJ helped him put up the panels to be nailed into place with a nail gun.
At the end of the day, we worked on raising the roof 1 foot up. So that was a matter of cutting some rafters and then raising them up. And it just gave so much more room. It's amazing how just such a small thing makes such a big difference.
The interior and exterior of the house is looking so much better. But after our work today, our team was left wondering, have we made enough progress to be able to finish our work tomorrow?
So by the end of the day, very happy with everything that we had accomplished. But really, as we wrapped up thinking about, wow, we only have 8 hours left of this job. But everybody's ready to knock it out and get it done.
After arriving on the job site, Kevin immediately jumped into teaching our team how to apply the beautiful stone on the front of the house. We all felt like Kevin had picked a great exterior stone and were really excited to put up the first piece. After drawing level lines and being fully prepared, we put up the first group of stone.
Last day, final touches, spray painting the top rail of the metal fence. This will really help with the aesthetics of things, but also just the longevity, just to keep things from rusting and being exposed to the environment.
Kristen, Rain, Jet, and Claire led putting up the stone onto the front of the house. It was turning out beautiful, but the front of the house wasn't the only thing we could focus on today. Julius, Fox, Ace, and Riley mixed concrete and got the last few stairs poured. After 4 days of continuous work, this moment was really satisfying for them. The guys made sure to sign their names on the first step, and we got a group picture of them with their finished product.
Midday, lots of success. We finished up the dangerous stairs going down the cliff. We finished up the deck, so it's time to move to the house and just really put the finishing touches on it.
The stone just kept going up and up on the exterior of the house. The team made sure to keep the stones level with wooden shims and with using a level on the stone. While they did that, we got the interior of the house into order, sweeping and putting things away. AJ organized the work trailer, which had kind of become a mess over the last week. It honestly was a little sad to really start preparing for the end, but the team was ready to finish strong.
It's neat to watch the stone go up. It was awesome to see everybody getting involved, getting dirty. Being able to say, hey, this stone goes here or this stone goes here, it's really therapeutic to do that sort of work, and I think everybody really enjoyed it. The stone that Kevin had picked out, there wasn't quite enough to go all the way to the top of the building, so he had some plans for how he was going to take care of that with a future team, and we look forward to seeing the completion when it's done.
The stone facade was the last thing our team did on the house. We got a bunch of group pictures that were framed really well by the beautiful sky that we had. At this point, our team was starting to see how the house would look as a finished product in the future. Down the cliff, the area was pretty much a finished, peaceful retreat. But with the rest of the house, we were excited to hear from Kevin what he had planned for it.
I am so excited how everything turned out. Restoration on the River is a wrap. We're cleaning up on the last day, and what a transformation. The inside of the house has completely transformed. We could start to see the vision taking place. We got all the doors and windows in. We've got all the old holes where the old doors and windows were. We got that all filled in, and everything is weather tight, and it's looking beautiful. The old front door has been closed off. We've moved that over and repurposed that door into a new entryway. You can now see where our bathroom's gonna go. We can see where a bedroom is gonna be up front. And one of the coolest things that we've done in here is we've opened up the trusses. We've raised the bottom cords of the trusses in this great room, and it feels so spacious now and so amazing. This was kind of an old dining area. Now we're gonna have the kitchen over here. We're gonna have the great room on this side with a fireplace. In this area, we now have transitioned some doors and small windows into 3 really good sized windows where we can maximize the view. So on this elevation, we put in this beautiful slider. That's really a key component of the main bedroom. In a later phase, we'll have a full deck that comes all the way out here and connects to this deck. The front is the high touch area. We really spent some time and effort making this really a key part of the project. This has got beautiful natural stone on it, as you can see. We almost finished all of it, but we got such a good start on it. Everything's level and beautiful. You can really see how that's going to look. We're also going to have a deck that comes out from this area. When it does get hot, that'll be a great place to find a little shade. We'll have a little awning that covers it. This will be a great place to gather and hang out too. You know, God's been in this project from the beginning. From the first moment that Casey and I spoke about it, we could see God working in some of the passages and some of the scripture that we were both praying about and looking into to see if this would work for all of us. We're just excited to continue that and watch God open doors and grow this project and grow this opportunity. And we've got such great momentum now, and God's just going to carry us right through till this is finished.
This has been a very large and amazing project. Everybody's happy with what we did and what they learned. We also recognized how many people were impacted by it, from the guy at Lowe's to the people that we shared the experience with out on the street. It's just amazing to see how God blessed this trip. We left the next day and we look forward to seeing the completion of the project someday, and just to hear the stories that God will share with us. Stay tuned for what we have to show. Our next videos will be a little bit shorter. We have done projects in Colorado, Houston, Texas, in Amarillo, Texas, in Alabama, and even Kentucky. And one really big one we're excited to share with you soon is our trip to Uganda. Make sure to like and follow us. We really want to see this ministry grow, and we want to see so many people helped throughout the country. Next Step exists to help people impacted by tragedy to take the next step in their domestic needs while God restores their spiritual needs. So help us do that. Help us with our ministry, and stay tuned for what's next.
God blessed our ministry so much with this trip to the outskirts of Austin, Texas. Thank you so much for tuning in to the exciting story of Restoration on the River, and we hope that you tune in to even more exciting stories to come.